Alright guys, we got a 2008 Honda Pilot today, and the customer complaint is the rear AC, it's not working. So I'm in the middle of the diagnosis. I haven't been here long. I didn't know where this thing was located. Finally located the blower. It's right under the center console here. So just pop it out. There's nothing to it. The panel is just basically clipped on. No bolts there, no screws, just pop it off. This side of it is going to be the resistor side, which this connector right here, that's where the resistor is. The tab is at the bottom. Push it in, pull out, that's the resistor. This looks like just a relay that gives basically a switching relay. Not sure how it works. I haven't looked at the diagram. On the other side, passenger side, this is where the fan is actually, the blower motor for the rear AC is located. I already took it out because I wanted to bench test it. This is one way to do it if it's accessible, instead of going through several info and diagrams and being complex. Sometimes just go back here and check for power and ground. So with this one disconnected, we have a constant power on a blue and yellow trace wire, and we have nothing on this wire right here, which is blue, just the plain blue wire. When you're connected to the fan now and you back probe it, you got power on both sides and it's not working. So what I'm thinking is going on is this is not being grounded, because that blue wire, I'm thinking, is supposed to be the ground side switched, and I think it's being switched by the resistor, and the resistor is not doing that. And to prove that concept, right now, as you see, I have the I have the blower on the first level, first speed there, and as you can tell, it's not working at all right here. Even though I can go in the back here and turn it on, nothing happens, right? Nothing happens. All right, now let's go back in here. Let's go on the blue steady, just a blue wire. I'm just back probing it back. This is me just going right there at the back of the blue wire with my power probe all the way in, and I'm going to give it ground and listen to that. Alright, let's look at the fan, but I don't want to cause damage here, but I'm just going to give it ground. Watch. As soon as I give it ground, that comes alive. So without looking at the wiring diagram, I think this is my diagnosis. Now, could it also be that this switch right here is no good? It's definitely a possibility that this switch is no good. Definite possibility. No doubt about that. It could be definitely that this switch is no good. But again, how would I test this switch? I got to go look at wiring diagram and figure this out. But I know my fan is good, so I'm going to put back that side of this situation. I'm no longer needing to go there. I know my fan is perfectly fine. My circuitry is good. I'm just having a command problem, like a ground switch command problem. So, because is it due to lack of input, like from the switch, for example, or is it due to just a bad resistor? I may have to look at service info, look at the wiring diagram and the description of operation, and be able to tell exactly what's going on. But I'm leaning towards a bad resistor, even though in my experience a bad resistor in general, especially on the front, when it's bad, it's only bad on the first 3 speeds, and the 4th speed usually, or the last speed, because it doesn't go through all the different resistance. It's direct from one side to the end. Usually it stays okay, and that's why I wasn't leaning towards the resistor. But maybe this one has a different design. Like I said, the only way you can confirm that is by looking at the wiring diagram. Let me go ahead and put the fan back. For those who are interested, how do you remove the fan? Oh, pretty easy. You got 3 screws, 8mm, and you got a cap on top of the fan. This would be the cap, right, that goes over the fan. We'll have to disconnect it from there, like that, and the cap basically goes right there. That's about it. but I gotta go ahead and put the fan on first, because the fan has to kind of latch onto a specific position. You got to put it in here and kind of turn it a little bit to put it in place. Then I'll set this back on top of it, and I'll put the 3 screws right there. 8mm, I'll use that basically. Alright, let me go ahead and do that. I'll show you where it goes. Right there. There's a filter on the other side. It would be a good time to take it out and clean it, you know, retained by 4 bolts or screws. You can do that. That's actually, I probably will do that right there. That screen is supposed to be something you can see through, but at the moment it is all dirty and clogged up. All right, let's go ahead and do this. So at the end of my diagnosis for today, I found a rig to make it work, and basically what I have done is just gave it a ground. That blue wire that's supposed to be grounded by the computer, i.e. this resistor, if I understand the circuitry. I haven't again looked at the wiring diagram. I will when I get home. I hate to look at it on my phone because it's just tedious. So if my computer's home, I'll be able to retrace my steps and see if what I did was correct or not. I'm thinking this is going to be it, because it's a high failure item supposedly. That's what the owner was saying. He Googled it. Good? Alright, so what I've done is I've just jumped it for now. It'll work right for now.
Just put it like a
That's it. So if you turn the car off, it turns on. You turn it on, it's on. But you cannot shut it off. It's going to, while the car is driving. Only when you turn the car off, come on. You get what I'm saying? Watch. Off.
So it's off.
That's it. Now you have, you know, cold air in the back. Yeah. So that's just a tip. Exactly.
That's a problem.
That's it. Well, we'll see. Like I said, since I didn't test the switch, that's the only variable that I'm kind of a little, you know, off about. I say, since I did not test the switch to see that I'm getting a signal from the switch to this thing,
Okay.
that's the only thing that I'm kind of iffy about. But
But the air is not cutting.
yeah, no, because I unplugged it. I'm going to put it behind here so I can put this panel back so nobody, you know, get their feet and stuff like that tangled with it. All right, guys. So just to wrap it up, as I explained to the customer, I took a bigger gauge wire because the other one was getting hot. So even though it was a ground, which I don't understand why, but I got me a very, I don't know what this is. This is what? 5 gauge? I think that's what it says. So it's pretty thick, you know. Some of the spare wire that I usually keep when I do certain jobs. So it's not getting hot. This one is cool. I had it on for some time and I didn't, you know. So this is temporary fix. Could potentially be a permanent fix for somebody in a pinch. If you didn't want to spend the money to go buy a new resistor, I feel like why not? The only thing is you can't turn it off as you're driving the car. Once the car's on, the blower stays on. So that's the only downfall there, I guess, you know. If there is a downfall to this situation, but you know, for the kids to be hot in the back seat, I think this will be all right. I think it's driven by the wife, and she got a pretty short commute. You know, she's not going long drives or whatnot, so she usually go get the kids from school and whatnot. Let me do this properly. The front end has to go in first, and then that's about it. And then, you know, hey, we order from Amazon. The part costs about 14 bucks, 15 bucks. They want $200 at the store. Amazon, 2 days, prime shipping. I'll try to film once I put the new resistor in. Hopefully, like I said, that was a issue, and then case closed. And then you know a way to diagnose yourself if you run into the same problem. You can just follow my steps. All right, guys, so now I'm home. Just looking at the diagram quickly. It's not a complete diagram, but it's enough for what we're trying to do. Okay, so this is basically, I'm gonna go straight to the component, the load, which is the rear blower motor right there. Okay, you got the blue and the yellow, and you got the blue. What I said earlier during the video was the blue wire was supposed to be a ground. Okay, but when you checked it at the motor, it was a power rather than being a ground. So the test light on ground would light up on both legs. This would light up before you turn the blower on or whatnot. Before you turn the car on, this would be a constant. Well, it's not a constant power, but if you turn it on, because of the relay, it'll just send power to right away. Let's see how that relay works. You got the control side as a permanent ground there on the body G501, and you got power coming from fuse 7 point something here, 7.5 fuse 3. Okay, so that's one of them at least, because it goes from here to that junction, then goes here and goes here, come back here. So this the basically is always hot and on position. So exactly what will happen when you're in on position, the relay bridge those two connection. One is 30 amp fuse that is in the under hood fuse relay box, so it gives power to the red wire. This is hot at all times, and now that the door is closed, power flows and goes right here. So we already know it's working because we got my light is lighting right there at the component there, at the load, at the blower motor. So all we needed right now was a ground, and the path to ground is through right there, the rear blower power transistor under center console. So this is our path to ground. It's supposed to come down here through this resistor right there, or transistor right there. Okay, I think the Y stuff there, that's what it means. You have a transistor. So it's supposed to go through there, through here, come back up here, and go all the way down to this ground right to ground G501. But this right here where we're having the break, I don't think we have any problem with that. I didn't verify because I didn't have a diagram, but I'm not worried about it. For sure, I don't have any path to ground on a blue wire. And the blue wire is supposed to have path to ground, except that this right here is compromised. And I think that's what we were having. That's why we have power on both legs. And as soon as I went to bridge, or not bridge, but basically jump the ground from here onto a ground, then the blower was working. But unfortunately, it doesn't have the ability to work with different speed and being commanded on and off, and at will, because that's what this transistor would do. It's a mini computer there. So I think our diagnosis was correct without even having a diagram. Sometimes you get some type of understanding of how things work, and so you get a little bit lucky. It could have been more complex than that. So I think with the new resistor, we ordered one from Amazon for $13, $15 shipped. The store wanted 140. So now, when I take a chance, and I'm not 100% yet, I always like to have that type of cushion. Let's just shoot the part cannon, but we have limits. So $15. If it happens to be not the problem, then no problem, no issue at all. So I feel like the only other possibility would be probably an input to this device right here, because I really don't know how this thing work. What how is this a constant ground, or is it not? I'm not sure. I'm thinking it is, and this is just blown here. But normally that's how it should be. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure, or it's not. It's not. This works by input. So you have a certain input, and then something happens. We don't know. So again, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe some of you guys who know best can chime in and actually explain exactly how this little device works. Does it work by the input, like these two wires, the green and the red? I'm not sure where they go. I'm only guessing that they're going towards the switch that is on the back of the center console for the rear AC. Maybe when you switch it on, that's when it says power here, and then something happens here, and this one get bridged onto the ground. That's what makes sense as well. But I didn't test those two wires. I should have, actually, because I was right there. All I had to do was just put my test light and see which one operates with the switch, and then I would have proven my concept. But I still need to know from the diagram now where these two wires go. Do they go to a I don't know, the computer, the car, AC computer, something? I'm not sure, because the diagram stops right here. It's only one of them right there. So I need to get to the diagram number 1 in order to complete that side of the circuit. Maybe it's going to be the front of it, like the main HVAC diagram. But I think for all purposes, I think our diagnosis wasn't far-fetched. It was not, it was not. I wouldn't call it definitely conclusive, but it was close enough, I believe. All right, guys. What is up, guys? So this is about 3-4 days later. We're back at the Honda Pilot, the one we diagnosed the non-operative or inoperative rear AC blower motor, and we determined it's going to be a bad resistor slash module. That's what I really think it should be called. Either way, so this was working my little rig here fine up until today. So now we're gonna remove this little rig and we're gonna do it the right way. All right, so let me go ahead and remove this wire. We're gonna use some electrical tape to kind of fix, because I had to chip that one, not chip, but I have to fray that wire a little bit there to connect it to it. So now we don't need that anymore. So let me go ahead and remove everything from here. I'm going to fix that wiring with some electrical tape, remove that. We're going to plug in the new resistor slash module, and we should have some air blowing in there. Alright, so let's get ready to, this is being fixed with some electrical tape. Let's pull this one out. The original was a lot better quality, so much heftier than the aftermarket. Alright, there goes the aftermarket part. eBay part, forgot the name of the part, but whatever. Just go and do an eBay research and you're gonna come up with that one right there. Whatever, it's 15 bucks. Reviews look good, so we just went ahead and yeah. So now I'm realizing I didn't have to remove those two screws because they have nothing to do with retaining how this one is retained. So what is a lesson learned there. Alright, cool. I'm gonna put this one in and twist it until it locks into place. That's about it, I believe, huh? Alright, just about right there. Alright, take that one, connector. Alright. Of course, this aftermarket is never going to snap in with that positive click just like you want it. Alright, moment of truth. Let's go ahead. Where's the key? Where is the key? In my pocket. Nope, that's a Mercedes key. Where is the key? God damn it. Alright, there goes the key. AC on. Alright, cool. Alright, it is on. Cool. Cool beans. Rear AC manual. And we're gonna have AC mode just right there. Yep. Blowing cold in the back here, guys. Yeah, buddy. Just like that. All the way to the bottom. All the way in. Cool. And we'll turn it off. Everything goes silent. Alright, so that was it. Diagnosed properly. Fixed properly. Job done. Let's put the panel back on. You saw the two methods. Well, this one is something you do in a pinch, and this other one is basically, and I told you I was going to clean that screen. I actually did. Alright guys, so that was just the job. I hope you enjoyed. Give it a thumbs up. I'm going to keep coming with some, hopefully interesting videos like that where you can learn something. And that's about it. Have a beautiful day.